Hello, my name is Adrian, and today we're going to be talking about aliens on Venus, quantum computers, and a frog that is really bad at being a frog. To start us off, over to Andrew to tell us about the new life forms found on Venus.
Thank you, Adrian. There has been a new creature found on a recently discovered part of Venus known as Polis. They have bean-shaped bodies and can be a variety of colors. The creature has been given the name Amgogus and has two different variations. One of these genetic variants is the Krumis variety, which is friendly and non-violent. The other variation of Amgogus, however, is an incredibly violent, hostile, and murderous Impus form. The Impus form has extraordinary hunting abilities and skills. One of these abilities is a long tongue that they can use to exterminate the Krumis form of Amgogus. In rare cases, the Impus form can possess the ability to shapeshift into other Amgoguses and carry out their devious deeds when disguised as the other Krumis variation. As far as genetics go, it is assumed that between the Krumis and Impus forms, the Krumis gene is the dominant gene and the Impus gene is the recessive gene. As far as technological advances go, they seem to be about on par with us, as they have a space station and a few satellites. Now, back over to Adrian to give you the news about quantum computers.
Thank you, Andrew. There's some news on the development of quantum computers. Quantum computers are computers that use their own kind of bit, called a qubit. Normal computers use bits that can be either a 1 or a 0 to store data. These qubits that quantum computers use, though, can be a 1 and a 0. They can basically be a 1 and a 0 at the same time. This can make processing anything a lot faster. A quantum computer can speed through a ton of calculations in comparison to a normal computer, which would take a lot longer, if they could even do them. To show you an example that might make more sense, a normal computer uses 8 bits to represent one number between 0 and 255. However, a quantum computer can use 8 qubits to represent any number between 0 and 255. But don't think that you can just go to Micro Center and buy one of these quantum computers. Scientists expect commercial systems to be produced in 10 to 20 years. This is because there's still a lot of work that has to be done. The amount of qubits that modern quantum computers have is less than 100, while a working quantum computer would have to have an estimate of 10,000 to a million. Pretty nerdy stuff, but if you're more of a naturalist, check out the Pumpkin Toadlet with Andrew.
Thanks, Adrian. The pumpkin toadlet is an enigma because of how small it is. It is so small that its inner ear just doesn't work. This causes them to get confused as to where they are and how they are moving. This happens because their semicircular canal is so small that the liquids inside it don't have enough room to flow, and thus it impairs the toadlet's vestibular system. The vestibular system is responsible for our balance and spatial orientation. This means that the toadlet cannot jump as effectively as other frogs. What ends up happening is closer to flopping around in the air than to landing. These little goobers also have glowing bones for some reason. It is suspected that they have glowing bones because these little frogs have ears so small that they can't hear their own mating call. Because of this, they might use their glowing bones as a way to find mates without needing to hear. Anyway, that is all for today's news. Tune back in tomorrow for some more exciting news.